Hey everybody, just want to do a quick video on the deck project because I've scoured the internet and could not find a good video on installing the helical piers under an existing deck. So I'm going to show you what I came up with. For those of you who don't know, who haven't watched the other video that I did where I mentioned it, which you probably haven't, because if you're looking for helical pier videos, you probably are not watching videos on depression, but check them out anyway if you would. Anyway, I am installing a hot tub into an existing covered deck, and it used to be screened in. So anyway, wasn't really standard construction. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's 16-inch on center. 12-inch on center for some reason. 12-inch on center, 2x8 joists with a ledger board, and then they have like 3 fence posts, like one on each outside corner, then one in the center as additional support. Obviously, that's not going to hold the 5,000 pounds of the hot tub with people in the water. So I wanted to add support, and originally I was just going to do 4x piers vertically. And then I thought, no. You know what? Like, what about helical piers? Because they're super strong. They hold a lot of weight. The ones I bought are rated at 3,500 pounds each in clay, which is the soil I have. So let me show you what I've done and what I'm going to do. And kind of when I get under the deck and start attaching things, I'll shoot a video there too. So pardon me. Look, this is with my phone. I don't even have a mic on. Just bear with me here. Okay, step one is the deck for me, and I guess probably anybody that's going to do this. My deck is probably 24 inches off of the ground, the surface level here where the plywood is. They put plywood down instead of deck boards, but this would apply for deck boards as well. And here you can see the joist, right? So what I went ahead and did is chalked off a line of where the hot tub's going to go. Then I measured in equal distances, 16 inches from the outside edge of the hot tub in all the way around that way. And I'm just on the inside of the first outside joists, and just, jigsaw, cut a hole. So let's move over here. So here is why I had to cut a hole. The pier when I started was up here, and I've got it driven down to here. These can go in by hand. Man, if I could rent a Bobcat that would fit up here and use the little attachment tool, that would be awesome, but I can't. So here you can see the clay soil. You can drive in a piece of rebar first, which I probably should have done, but I didn't. So I started this by hand, and my soil is already very compacted. My house was built in the mid-70s, and this deck's been here for quite a while. So this soil is really just compacted down from moisture and staying wet under there, and no one ever walking on it. So the pier itself comes up, and you got this saddle that ultimately a 4x will ride in. So I was able to twist it with the 2x4 is the actual instructions. These are made by Pylex. I'll put a link in the comments. These are made by Pylex. They're really cool. Stops you from having poor cement footings and that kind of stuff. Still gets below the frost line where I'm at. Like, this is way deeper. These are 32-inch piers, 32 or 34, whatever. And they make extensions in 24-inch length. So what you do is you run this all the way down, and then you test for compaction. If it still compacts when you hit it with a sledgehammer, you're supposed to buy the extension and keep going. This one will be fine, though. Like, I started driving it in by hand. And man, like, I had to tap it down with a sledge just to get it started. So it's super compact. I'm going to be good. But now that I'm at deck height, what I had to do is rig up a little tool to let me spin this thing. Because as you can see, it's between the joists. I mean, there's only, less than 6 inches, 4 inches of clearance between the side and the joist. And so what happens is once this gets down here, I have no way of spinning it. So I had some old 2x4s, and I just sandwiched them together. This is just in here loose. I mean, it's not really super tight. I just don't want it to flop out. And then took another piece of 2x, just ran some screws through it, put a piece of strapping around it so it don't pop the screws out. I'll reuse this strapping later. And you just walk in a big circle until that thing gets all the way down there. I'm making the video now because I'm dizzy. This is going to take a while for each pier. So anyway, But once the pier is in, what I am going to do is, here's a 4x. This again, the saddle is for a 4x. Here's a 4x, and it runs all the way over to that hole. So you can start to see what I'm actually going to do is get this thing, and I may actually go back and get a longer one. These are 6. I'll probably go back and get a couple 8s. I can still use these. I'm going to do something else too, but run them in the saddle, right? So if you imagine, I snapped a chalk line to keep the piers centered this way, right, perpendicular to the joist. So this one will be in line with that one. And then if you imagine, right on this line is where that 4x is going to rest under the joist down here, right? So that 4x is going to come, I'm going to use it to touch right here. So I've calculated the distance I need to drive the pier down with the dimension of the 4x sitting in here and how far down that needs to go. These have about 3 inches of adjustment. You have to leave at least 3 inches of threaded rod. This is threaded here. Threaded rod all the way down to here. But what I'm also going to do at that point, since I'll have these in 4 corners, is I'm going to check my deck for level. It has a slight slope to it. I can feel it. I haven't put a level on it yet, but I know this corner I'm actually working on is the lowest. And then it slopes from the house out just a little bit, which is a good thing for water to run off. But I am going to got to make it level for the hot tub. So what's cool is these have, let me show you, I got one disassembled over here just so you can see. These have a nut that actually is what this rests on. So this is hollow, which, so if you ran that rebar through there, let's see if I can get a picture here. Somewhere maybe, I don't know, it's hollow all the way down. There it is. You can run that piece of rebar in the ground and put this right over it to guide it, is what they recommend. So this sits in here and actually rests on this bolt. So I'm going to manage the height where once I get the 4x in, I'm here. And then I'm going to use this nut to literally, I can raise up the deck at that point on each corner if I need to. So that front corner could theoretically go up as much as 3 inches. Honestly, it probably only needs to go up like a ½ inch, if that. It's really not much of a slope, but I do know it's there, and the hot tub needs to be pretty much dead level. So this is how this works. That nut, you know, when you wrench on it, you can see it just drives up. You just have to leave, like I said, 3 inches of threaded rod in here. Then once you get it in, believe it or not, there's a little small set screw there that stops us from wobbling around in there. It's perfectly good. Again, these are engineer rated for 3,500 pounds in clay, and I believe they're 5,000 pounds in sandy soil. So they're pretty cool. Again, made by Pylex. These were $34, $36 each at Home Depot. They're special order. They don't stock them, but it took them about 4 or 5 business days to get there. So that's the pier, and again, they make extensions that just make it longer if you need to go deeper until you get no compaction. So that's what I'm doing with the piers and how you install those piers. Again, when I get them all in and I'm under the deck putting in the 4x, I will show you how I'm going to, first I'm going to level the deck because it'll slide a little laterally on that 4x, and then I'll attach it, and I'll show you how I'm going to attach it to the joist. Those straps, I'm going to use those, and I got some brackets as well that'll keep it in place mostly, but still allow a little lateral flex, because hot tub water, when it gets sloshing back and forth, right, it actually puts lateral forces on your deck. Most people don't think about that, and it can cause it to eventually, if you don't attach it, just shimmy it, or if you don't attach it well, it'll shimmy that 4x right out, or it could possibly. So probably not, but it theoretically it could. Okay, if you like this video, check around. I don't really do DIY videos, but whatever, if you like this one, maybe I'll do some more. I'm just an average homeowner guy. I generally talk about men's mental health. So, but hope you like this video.